Now we're live, by the way. So I think Sammy will pop in whenever Sammy pops in. He must be doing something over there. Oh, hey, Sammy. How you doing?
G'day, folks. I'm good.
That's good.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Everyone in the chat, hello. We're back. We're here doing all kinds of stuff. So what are you guys been up to? Anything exciting?
Well, I've discovered that we're wrong, Andy.
Oh, really?
We obviously just a bunch of liberal sissies. So
tell me more.
I'll share my screen.
Okay, please do.
Okay. So on this, it's obviously a bit of a parody site, but what I'll show you, I believe, is real from what I can find. AmericanFunFactOfTheDay.com. I love this bear with the gun. So American. And this, hang on. Can zoom in on this somehow.
Meat beers. Oh, yeah. There we go. Beers.
Look at this quote. The only thing that can make beer even better is the knowledge that a living creature died so I can drink it.
Ouch.
And they start with a dishonorable mention for, here we are, elephant poop.
Elephant
beer.
poop.
Yeah, but it's not a meat beer, so it didn't get on the list.
Right.
It's the coffee beans digested by elephants, dug out of their dung and then used in the brewing process. So check this one. I love the name of it. Hand-pulled cock ale. And literally contains the entire chicken. So bones, beak, you name it.
Well, the beak's the best part.
Yeah. Guaranteed to leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Also, whale bones and meat. Of course, the bacon. We should have knew there was going to be bacon beers.
Of course.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
Oyster beer.
Oyster stouts.
Even the color of that beer, and knowing it's
yeah.
More oyster beer. We then have. Are you ready for this?
I think that was bull testicles there, brother. That you just passed. That was like
really
Mountain oysters. Yeah, take a look. Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh my god! I wondered what that
sheep
was.
Testicles.
I thought it was like a Kransky or something, but I was like, that's not American.
Quite popular in Wyoming.
Okay, yeah, Rocky Mountain oysters. Oh my god. See, we're clearly doing it wrong. Look, Sunday roast made with roast lamb juices.
Nice.
Yummy.
Is this lampoon shit?
Hey?
Is this just lampoon shit? Is this made up or is
No,
this
these
real?
are real beers.
Fuck.
From different countries. I looked a lot of them up. They're real. I love this one. Look, because extracts are for sissies. You need the real deal.
Excellent.
That's pig brain, and then of course the collection isn't complete without goat brain.
Oh, of course.
So
that'll help your brain.
And here we have brewed with roasted goat brains and cranberries. So the cranberries just finish it off.
Who the fuck?
Yeah.
You saw the picture that I sent you then with the bishop's finger that you thought was.
I thought you were just bullshitting me.
No,
it's real.
It's a legitimate beer. It's a very nice beer, actually. It's one that I drink quite often because we have proper beer. I mean, in Australia, in America, you're drinking lager. You're not drinking beer. Beer should be dark or gold. When I say golden, not that light pissy golden that you lot drink. It should be a darker gold.
Yes, we know this. We know our beer is piss.
Yeah, you want something like John Smith's Smooth, something like that. It's a lovely beer. It is a nice smooth drink. It's an absolute gorgeous beer. And I don't know if you noticed, I put in the comment as well on the last show that a lot of churches, excuse me, a lot of churches in the UK are closing down because nobody's basically going to them. Yeah. So a lot of them are getting turned into pubs.
Nice.
And full on Sunday, a full congregation on a Sunday. I don't know if I can share me screen it and show you what some of these actually look like.
Sure.
Does it cost 10% of your earnings?
No, it doesn't. You'll spend more than 10%, but you'll enjoy yourself.
There are quite a few Catholic churches that got turned into convents in the Boston area due to the sex scandal.
Right, I've shared the screen. If you put that on, then I can flick it to there.
Flick it over. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice, huh?
Oh, what's going on?
God, they're beautiful, too.
Yeah, hang on, let me just go back. I've flicked out. Oh, London turn. Right, so that's what the church looked like.
Fuck, I'm going.
Just go back to the... oh, there we go.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Where's the pokies?
Where's the what?
Pokies.
It's drinking the religious experience it should be.
Yeah,
right.
That's what it should be like. Exactly.
What you may call slot machines, maybe?
Oh, right. Yeah, well, there should be some in there.
Pokies. Where's the pokies? It's not a pub without pokies.
Oh, there's one at the left there. I saw one at the left. We'll just go back and see what other pictures we've got.
Damn. Those are all pubs now.
They're all pubs, yeah.
That's beautiful. Some really beautiful pubs.
Yeah, because, some of obviously the old churches, they look absolutely gorgeous. They're a really nice building, and you might as well put them to some use, haven't you, and turn them into pubs.
Sure.
Obviously, this one has been turned into a residency. We've got one in Filey just down the road to me, was turned into flats. It was a big church, so it was turned into flats. I think there's one in Scotland as well that's been turned into flats.
Nice.
I don't know if there's any more.
That Dave was saying is that the church got raptured into a pub. Indeed, it's in a better place. It's in a better place. It's.
I mean, look at that. It's packed. They never get a congregation like that on a Sunday, would they?
Never.
And if Jesus, think about it, it just makes sense. Jesus turned water into wine.
Right.
He wanted churches to turn into pubs.
They are Liverpool's best restaurant.
You ask a Mormon, they'll tell you it's grape juice.
Yeah. So there you are. Look at that for a packed congregation.
It's a good crowd.
Yeah, it's the only way to do it. Right, I'll jump back out of that. I'll stop sharing it if you want to stop sharing it.
Sure. I'll remove that. Sure. No worries. So, good stuff. Thanks for sharing that.
And
thanks for sharing that too, Sammy, about the beer.
There?
Sorry, I missed that.
Are they actually doing church services or they're just pubs?
No, they're just pubs.
Oh, yeah.
No, if you go to a church now on a not being I might do it actually. What a laugh! Yeah, shall I do it one day?
Well, they've popped up in Australia. I think I've heard of them in America as well. Actual churches are holding their church masses in pubs.
Oh, right. Yeah, I wonder if I should do that. Go in with my phone one time. Go to church on a Sunday morning with my phone and see how empty it is.
Well, you should go in there with a flask and just.
I found when I was living in Utah, the Catholics, it was cocaine on Saturday night. Mormons are quite content with their fucking pills.
Well, that's medicine. That's medicine.
Purely medicinal.
I'll stick to my own medicine.
Yeah. Good times.
Fuck, how did America come so goddamn stupid?
Well, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
fucking England should have jacked off on a hot rock or something, instead of fucking.
Well, we laugh when America, they go about when obviously there was that war between America and Britain, and they got their independence. I think they won. I think we did best out of that deal, without a shadow of a doubt. We won that one.
I'm feeling nothing but shame.
Hey, if you drink Bishop's Finger, do you get your boots here as well?
Nice.
Fuck, you're gonna kill me.
Very nice. Well, the girlfriend points out America was never really that smart. Well, I can say for maybe the Northeast, or at least for the Boston, the Boston and Cambridge triumphant. We're just massholes, basically. Is that maybe Massachusetts wasn't that dumb? But I don't know. We did have the Puritans, and the Puritans made everything stupid.
They sent all the criminals to Australia and fucking the religious folks to America.
Yeah.
Sounds like we got the shitty end of the stick, man.
Well, a lot of
I think we got the shitty end of the stick on that one. I mean, yeah, all right. We sent all our idiots to America, and yeah, you're welcome to it. But then we sent all the criminals to Australia. Why the bloody hell wasn't one of my relatives in the past a criminal? And now I could be living in Australia in the sun.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking.
I think we did well with America, but I think we really dipped out with the Australian side of it.
During the 14-hour drive we did over the weekend, 14 hours down, 14 hours back from North Carolina, my girlfriend and I would like to discuss about what country we're going to flee to or travel to or stay at, live at in a couple of years when my kid goes to college. And she's been fighting for Canada. And I don't want to misrepresent her because she's in the chat, but I've been pushing for Australia or New Zealand. My first choice would be New Zealand. No offense, Sammy, but I think that's my highball. And then it would be
you'll end up over here, mate. Trust me. It's fucking cold over there.
Yeah, I've been to Canada. It's actually a really nice place. It is a gorgeous place. Is Canada. I've never been to Australia. It's somewhere I'd like to go. I've never been, but everything you see about Australia it looks stunning. It really does.
One thing I don't think a lot of people realize about Australia, I think most people just think of it as outback, which the majority is, obviously. But we have every type of, lost the word, but every
climate. Yeah,
but that's not even the word I'm looking for. But what's a word more specific? And
topography, is that a word?
Yes, I was going to say topography.
Environment.
Yeah, because I know you have some.
We have places that are snow all year round. We have places that are desert all year round, and we have tropical all year round, and then everything in between, and places that, like Melbourne, where it will go through all 4 seasons in one day. Hence the brilliant song by Crowded House. But yeah, and so, it doesn't really matter what you like. There's somewhere you can go that you'll be comfortable.
Yeah.
Climatically, is that a word?
Climatically, if it's not a word, then we can make it a word.
If it's not a word, it was easily understood what you were saying. So we should make it a word.
And especially like here on the East Coast, I go too far north and I whinge and whine about the heat. And if I go too far south, I whinge about the cold. So here in the middle, I'm quite blessed.
Right. Yeah.
But we do cop a lot of natural disasters. I don't think people realize that either. Just how much we cop it here in Australia. Like our national sized disasters are yearly, if not bi-yearly nowadays.
Well, I've heard that Australia
followed by fire, followed by flood.
Australia is considered to be one of the countries that's most likely to get really affected by the climate crisis.
And we already are.
Yeah.
We have been for quite some time. People really need to look at Australia because we, as far as the effects of climate change, I think we're 10 or 15, maybe 20 years ahead in effects. Hence the fires, the flooding.
I'll just have to disappear for a second because the wife's shouting me. She's actually outside in the hot tub. I'll just put myself on. I don't know what she's after, tea or something maybe.
Okay, Paul.
Make sure she hasn't fallen over or something.
Yeah.
In Texas, when we got the freezing weather a couple months ago, all these assholes blaming Canada on it. Sound like a South Park episode.
It's like they sent the weather.
Right, exactly. That's Canadian terrorism right there. Sending bad weather down to Texas. Dude, Sammy, you were telling me about. I remember there was a time that you were talking about the mice situation about the. Right,
we're still in the midst of it. It's worsened. Google that shit. The mice, when they're zoomed out, it looks like shit. Google's talking in my ear. Shut up, Google. The mice look like ants, swarming ants. It's like oceans of mice.
Wow.
I've got 4 dogs.
See, we had a bumper crop year because the flooding. But we've had this mice plague that's sort of, ruined these bumper crops for our farmers.
Yeah, I'm looking at this just from the Guardian. This is from back in March. You can't escape the smell. Mouse plague grows to biblical proportions across eastern Australia. That was back in March too.
Yeah, it's actually worse now. Like people have just resigned to sleeping with them, running over them, because I know they say they curl up and like wrap themselves in their blankets and just feel
that's terrifying. I think I would invest heavily into cats. Ship in some Maine Coon cats here from the States.
There's something. I don't know if it's the sort of thing that fixes itself in time. No, like the numbers will drop again, or do we need to step in?
I have no idea.
Sounds like a Hitchcock film.
It does, dude.
The footage you can see of it is a Hitchcock film.
Oh, hey, Paul's back. All right.
I got 4 dogs I could send to Australia that will take care of the whole fucking problem. They take down anything that moves.
I mean, you probably remember I was on here talking about my moral dilemma, getting rid of, because even here where I am, the numbers have picked up a bit.
No, really?
Just from that flooding that we had.
Yeah.
What's that? I missed that bit. What's the numbers in what have picked up?
The mouse
mice.
Oh, mice. Right.
In Australia, we've got a bit of a plague at the moment.
Yeah,
we don't do too bad for mice.
Thanks, Britain.
We have the same problem in Texas, but we call them Baptists. It's a fucking plague.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I do on a weekend is I actually go out shooting rats for the local farmer.
I remember you were saying that. You have a night scope and everything.
In fact, what has just arrived today, it's not mine actually, it's for the neighbour. It's literally just arrived today. Because he wanted it delivering here because he's at work and I'm on night. So that actually fits on to your scope, so you can use your normal scope, and then this turns your normal scope into a night sight. So that's your
Right.
infrared lens there, and then this is where your scope connects to it. So,
Interesting.
yeah, that's just arrived today for the next door neighbour.
Right? Is he a anti-ratter too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. You're part of the home guard. That's what you are, Paul.
Yeah, home guard for the rats. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, this time of year, there's loads about.
Do they allow you the assault rifles and stuff in England?
Yeah, you can to some extent.
Paul uses air rifles, basically.
I use air rifles mainly, but they look like a.
Oh shit! That's competition.
That is an air rifle. Yes.
Yes.
You can see the cylinder there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the air cylinder on there. So I get about 500-600 shots out of that. I mean, they're not too powerful. They're only like 12 foot-pound, but to be honest, we don't need anything more powerful than that because all we're shooting is, like, say, rats, rabbits, heads, and stuff like that. So you don't really need anything any more powerful than this.
Well, I got my first 22 at 5. My dad, yes, fact. I don't own any guns anymore. I'm just too fucking shaky. And so, but I just don't understand this assault rifle thing. If you can't fucking take it down with a bolt action, you have no right to even own a weapon, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's a fetish. That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can get assault rifle type over here, but they're not. I don't think they're allowed to be fully automatic. I think you can have
a fully automatic weapon. It's a blast to shoot, and I mean, I'm not shooting anything living when I'm doing it. It's just fun to squeeze off. But I don't see what. People go to a protest with, a gun that's it's sickening. It's sickening. And I'm a person that was raised, that was part of my growing up was guns. We hunted. Back in Utah when I was a kid, we would have deer hunt off. It was a fucking holiday. It was a holiday. You got 2 days off for the opening of deer hunt, And my father, he was probably about 60 years old. And the last deer hunt he went on, he's like, it took me 2 shots. I'm fucking done. I'm washed up. But, we consumed it. It was part of it. It was, but just, I was raised with guns. I don't understand why America needs assault rifles.
Well, the not so hidden secret is that we don't need them. Yeah. Just getting back, this is a video of Australia and the mouse-apocalypse, and I just saw like a split second of it, and it terrified me. And so I guess I'm going to share it with all of you so you can share my terror. Thank you, Sammy, for sharing this with us. All right, mouse-apocalypse.
Holy fuck.
That's nuts.
That is crazy.
Okay, fully auto weapons.
Yeah.
I think we fucking fire.
In fact, let's go nuclear.
We need fire.
Okay, go nuclear.
That is mad.
Damn.
That is a problem. That is a major problem.
Fucking bubonic plague 2.0.
You need the Pied Piper. That's what you need. Oh, poison mice and the tanks. Yep. Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude.
Wow. That's hard.
That sounds disgusting.
That is wow. Yeah, that's nightmare sauce. That's what that is.
Anybody see that movie Ben?
Well, that's only on the East Coast, right, Sammy? There's a whole.
I'm on the East Coast, and that's not here. That's like out where it's the western East Coast, so more inland, like
Okay.
Where all the farm land and all the grain is grown and stuff.
Wow.
So we say west, even though it's on the east coast.
That's creepy.
That is creepy. That is apocalyptic right there. The only thing that could make it scary is if they were somehow dropping from the sky.
Well, I'm sure that twisters would come through and probably pick them up.
Right.
Can only imagine.
Hello and fucking yikes. Indeed. Indeed.
Right, can I just share my screen again?
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
This is what I used to do years ago. You might be interested in it. Share video. Once it comes up, it's going to be a bit slow because I'm on my Chromebook, so I'm hoping it actually works.
Okay, yeah, take it. Yeah.
Jesse Bear when nursery rhymes become nightmares.
Share screen.
I see Dr. Osiris popped in. Hello, Dr. Osiris. Tobin Settlement is like, what the heck? What the heck indeed? That's crazy amount of ice. And the thing is, and I'm going to say what everyone's thinking, they're not rats, so they're far more difficult, I would imagine, to hit with an air rifle if you were going to shoot at them.
Did you see the speed those things were moving?
Can you make beer with them?
Hey?
Can you make beer with them?
You could probably make beer. Wow. All right.
I think we're onto something.
I think we got a revive here.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I used to do years ago. Well, obviously that was me. That was the Harris Hawk that I used to have.
So what you're saying is that y'all need more hawks and more cats in Australia. Maybe
more hawks, more cats.
Maybe more owls too, because owls.
In fact, probably more snakes as well.
Oh, good point. See, we're solving all the problems.
We do. We have a fuckload of hawks, and snakes. So
I'll just have to stop.
You saw those numbers. I don't think anything could deal with those sheer numbers.
Yes, they do have a zombie-like invasion quality to it. That their numbers are so large, it doesn't matter how many air rifles or hawks, or you're just going to be overwhelmed.
They'll just keep coming.
They'll just keep coming, right? They'll just keep coming. What you need is a balloon. You need a good old-fashioned Zeppelin to be very far from the ground.
Yep, or nukes.
Or nukes, right? Somehow a houseboat seems to be reasonable at this point.
We're safe again now. We just have the naked wife walk past.
Oh, okay. We were just talking about options of living in Australia, like living in a Zeppelin, maybe, right? Or a houseboat seems reasonable under those circumstances. But mice can swim, dude.
I was going to say mice can swim, so
yeah, they can. Yeah.
So only the air is safe, or deep ocean.
Yeah, I suppose if you're 20 miles offshore, you should be fairly safe from mice.
Right. Unless someone's been bitten by a mouse already, and then they turn into a mouse when you're 20 miles. I'm sorry. The zombie thing.
Zombie mice.
Zombie mouse.
Well, actually, we jest, but the bites, and it's only something like 15. But I think, I think in the last 200 years of us having a recorded history, there's probably been no recorded cases, but we've had 12 or 15 cases of mice bites causing hospitalization.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Due to some being infections, others things they've caught from them.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see how a lot of different nasty infections could be carried by mice.
Yeah. Do you have a rabbit problem out in Australia as well? A big rabbit problem?
In some areas, they're a bit of a problem. Do you know about? We tried to introduce myxomatosis.
They did it here.
Yeah,
they did it here.
The 80s or something, and
yeah. It might have been the 70s or 80s, I think they introduced it here. It might have been earlier than that. Yeah, it's a horrible disease. One of the worst things that we ever tried to do. Should never have done that.
Yeah.
Simply Secular Dave says, if only bats and mice could crossbreed, fly, and carry horrible diseases across the continent in a few days, right? There's it is, tons of flying mice.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, basically, I suppose that's what a bat is, really, isn't it? It is a flying rodent, really.
Sammy, are they blaming the problem on the Christian right wing, blaming the problem on all your ungodliness?
There are
that's what
ultra conservatives.
Yeah. Fucking repent.
Like, we've just had floods and fires. Now this global pandemic, the mice plagues. It's Armageddon.
The apocalypse is coming. We're living in the end times.
It's probably because of all the gay people.
Of course.
Absolutely. I'm sure that's what it is.
Right.
All my extended ultra religious family have been sending me letters. This is what the Jehovah's Witnesses do. We're what do they refer to us? I'm not just fellowship, so I'm not technically, but they do what's called soft shelling. So although they don't get in trouble for talking to me, they still won't because I'm bad association. And as we all know, bad association spoils useful habits. That's like their fucking mantra. So they don't, ring up or come visit or anything, but they'll send letters.
Right.
And they've all been reaching out by letter. Have you noticed the signs? You're watching for the signs. It's all happening.
I just wanted to. I know we were talking about mice. Still talking about mice, really, but bats are actually not rodents. They are. It's an example of convergent evolution, where different species happen to look the same but aren't actually related. So bats are actually closer related to human beings than they are to mice.
Yeah, and apparently, I don't know how true this is. I've heard a similar thing with. We associate mice and rats as well, but apparently there is a big gap between a mice and rat. Just because one's bigger than the other doesn't mean they're as closely related as you think they are. Which I was surprised. I would have thought that a mouse and a rat were very close, just one had evolved to be bigger, but apparently not.
Interesting.
So are we actually saying that evolution might actually be a fact?
It just may be. It just may be.
Interesting.
It's a revolutionary idea here in the States.
Yeah.
Revolutionary evolution.
It's part of the atheist religion. I get this all the time. I've had some absolutely terrible conversations on Facebook just recently. There's one bloke on Facebook, it just keeps hounding me, absolutely hounding me. And that's all he keeps doing, your evolution religion and all this lot. And I keep trying to explain it to him that evolution has got nothing to do with my religion. You can prove evolution wrong tomorrow. Science could come out tomorrow and say, we got it all wrong. This evolution idea that we had, it's completely wrong. It's something completely different. And it made no difference to my atheist, but he won't have it.
Yeah.
I completely accept evolution, but I don't claim to even, I understand what evolution means and
same as me.
A little bit about it, very, very basic terms. So it has nothing to do with whether I believe in God or not, a little.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's exactly the same with me. I mean, I disbelieved in a God before I even had any concept of what evolution was. The same as the Big Bang. It's got nothing to do with it, but they keep arguing the Big Bang and they keep arguing evolution because it's an easy way for them to try and basically drag you down the rabbit hole and ask you that many questions that you can't answer.
This false dichotomy that it has to be God or evolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's it.
People just don't like not knowing. They feel like they need to have a definite answer.
It's like the Cambrian explosion. They're saying, how did it just all happen?
It were millions of years.
Look at fucking the mice in fucking Australia. How did it just happen?
It just
because of the evolution time that we've got, the Cambrian explosion is a small amount of time in that, and there was a lot of explosion within that time. But that time wasn't like 20 or 30 years or 100 years or 1,000 years. It was still millions of years.
Yeah.
Well, look at the mice in Australia. How did it just happen?
Yeah.
Blame Canada.
And then the one that we must all hate is, cows give birth to cows, dog gives birth to dogs. Show me when an animal gives birth to a different kind. Well, that never happened. That isn't what evolution is. One species will always give birth to its same species. So a dog will always give birth to a dog, and then that dog will always give birth to a dog. What it means is that if you go from this, a dog here, and then go millions and millions and millions of years into the future, right? At some point, it will have changed what it is. It'll look completely different.
Yeah, but there's been
But there isn't a single point where one a dog gives birth to this other type of,
But there's been studies, Paul, where they've taken foxes and they've bred them for temperament and looks, and they become softer and nicer, and they do change in looks. But there was a study done in Russia that went over 60 years, and they was breeding them for their looks and temperament, and the animals did change.
Yeah, but what they'll say is they'll say, yes, but it's still a fox.
Yes.
They will say that's there's possible to have adaptation within a species. So it's microevolution in a sense, which is, and they say that speciation can't happen. God does not allow that for one species to magically. But you see, what happens is if one species, if the same species get divided by like a mountain range, right, some other kind of natural barrier, then they will go in different paths.
Yeah,
they will just diverge.
But a turtle will be a turtle.
And see, I think that they struggle understanding how something can go from, say, like a bear dog type creature to a whale.
Yeah.
But I say, have you seen a seal?
Yeah.
Those things are fucking dead bang in the middle of a whale and a dog.
Yeah, and absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
They're mind-boggling creatures. Like they act, look, sound like a dog, but they're swimming in the water.
Yeah.
Well, we've only been here for a blip as far as time goes. You
make that seal a bit bigger, and what have you got? A whale.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and let's be fair, when it comes to categorizing animals, it's us humans that have categorized them. It's like we've got whales and we've got dolphins, but there's not a great deal of difference between a whale and a dolphin, or to me there isn't. You look at the killer whale, that is actually a dolphin, not a whale.
Yes.
But when we see it, we think of it as a whale. So you can see there how that's diverse. They've got two completely different species, and even we originally, we mixed it up. We looked at it and said, well, this is a whale and this is a whale. This is a dolphin because it's smaller, so we'll call this dolphins. But actually, whales are dolphins, killer whales are dolphins, not whales.
Yeah. People just want to, theists just want to cling on to their faith. It's too much cognitive dissonance. It just ravages their brain. I was talking with.
I think they do understand it. The like of Ken Hovind and Ken Ham, I think they do understand it.
Well, some of them do. The people who are apologists do, and they either try to square that circle honestly, or they're just trying to get clicks on YouTube.
I know it's very slow at the moment, if it even exists, but I think it's just a matter of time that as a society we progress and our global knowledge increases and our access to information increases, that it's not going to be as easy for people like Matt Powell, for example. I'll just use him because he's my pet hate at the moment.
Yeah. Good for you. Good choice.
Is just the miss or the false science that they still spout.
Yeah.
That we're going to get to a point where most people have enough basic knowledge to know the Grand Canyon couldn't be formed by a freaking flood, but the rest of the globe's still just normal. But this one little thing here was made by the flood. Just basic critical thinking skills. Surely we're going to reach a point where religion's going to have to change either fundamentally.
Well, yeah, but needless to say, it's a conservative institution, so they will be kicking and screaming all the way. And then at the end of it, they'll be like, "Oh, we were like this all along. Come on, we're telling you guys."
Religion drags behind society, and we've literally, like you just said, Andy, we've got to drag it kicking and screaming into the modern era.
It takes
just by looking at any of the religions, see all of it. Look at the Jehovah's Witnesses. They won't allow colours into their religion. Now they do. We've got, well, not so much in the US, but like in the UK. Gays and the LGBT community is now accepted in some religions. They don't do it because they want to. They literally need to be dragged into the 21st century. They just need to be dragged, kicking and screaming. They don't come eventually. They do arrive eventually, but they're a couple of 100 years behind, always.
The Mormons didn't allow blacks into the priesthood till about 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's like now we've got women priests in the UK. We've got women priests, whereas 20, 30 years ago that would absolutely be a no-no. But we have women priests now.
Well,
it fits now. They have to.
Yeah. With Mormons, I think it wasn't until 1973 or somewhere in the early 70s that they had for those of you who don't know this, we're watching or in the chat. I think it was in the early 70s that the president of Mormonism had the epiphany of because before the epiphany, the darker your skin, the more sin you supposedly had. That was church doctrine for
Ezra Taft Benson.
It just shows the ignorance, doesn't it? That the more sinful you are, the more pigment you have in your skin. I mean, come on,
Dr. Mordecai. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Nice.
Yeah. Very good.
But you may, as soon as I heard that the LDS president had an epiphany, it's like, oh, what a bullshit thing that is. But then you realize that Paul, Paul in the Bible, the only reason why Christians can don't have to follow, the Torah is because Paul had a freaking epiphany, just like this guy did. And that's the only reason why Christian doctrine.
Yeah, basically, he argued, didn't he, that the Christians didn't need to follow the Jewish law.
Exactly, and that's why it became popular. I mean, that was one of the reasons why it became popular.
Yeah.
It's.
I
I suppose getting your foreskin cut off could actually be a decider, like when you don't need to have that done anymore. It's like, I'm off with Christianity.
It's like, okay, so I'm down with this. I'm down with slavery. I'm down with this. You want me to do what to my dick?
Yeah.
I'm out.
Or you get that one guy who's like really into it. Like really. It's like, wow. Now I have a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you want that guy in the congregation.
No.
I mean, who was the first person to come up with that idea?
I don't know.
What I did with my penis.
Yeah, look at this. It's brilliant. Really?
Liking it so much, I might go for a second cut.
Oh yeah, well that's what I was. Yeah, that was my next for a bit. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Basically, what were they doing? Correcting God's mistake in the first place.
Well, it's all about the covenant, you know. It's all about the covenant. And you know, there's I was listening to the Bible Says What podcast. Michael Weissman was on the channel a couple of weeks ago, and you know, there's a fair number of Christians here in the States that are talking about not only do you have to circumcise your Don Johnson there, but you gotta circumcise your heart for Christ too. And it's like, that just sounds painful to me. That doesn't sound right.
And where's the extra skin on the heart?
I don't know. It's a spiritual skin. It's a metaphysical skin. That's what it is.
Are they talking about it like a biopsy? Have a biopsy for Christ?
Right.
Yeah, Jesse Bears just put in the chat there, Paul, you don't realise cutting baby boys is seen as Christian norm in the States.
Yeah, you have to opt out of that. Otherwise, they'll just do it.
What?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, circumcision is normal. You have to. You have to opt out of that.
You are kidding.
I wish I was.
Holy shit! I didn't know.
No, I did not know that.
You didn't know that? Oh yeah.
No, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah. Welcome to America.
I'll never know what it's
you
like
have a baby.
to be
So you go
circumcised.
to hospital to give birth. You give birth and then they just take it away and.
Yeah, it's just considered to be garden variety stuff. I know that, you know, I mean, I was born in '68, and I don't think my mom had any real. Yeah, it was just part of the process. Yeah, and I think that's been for. It's only now changing.
Well, if it wasn't religious, they said it was for hygienity, you know?
Yep. And you can still see areas on Facebook and online about the active debate on whether or not there's any real reason to be, to be circumcised. I don't think there is. I think the data shows that it isn't really necessary. But yeah, that is the default position here, is for circumcision.
Right. Did not know that.
Oh yeah.
Well, the Nazis wore a proper helmet too.
It's we actually have the complete
Jesse's put on. Jesse's just followed up with a comment. Yeah, people gave me shit for not doing it and called it dirty. Unbelievable.
Yeah. There are many things. I cannot comment on that. There are some things about my personal life I cannot get into because of my But
once your child's like, and I'm really open-minded. I don't really, I'm not going to step into anyone's life or tell anyone how to raise their kids or any of that shit. But there's an age of awareness where there's only going to be so many times my son's going to see my dick. After a certain age, that's, is he going to see it that often that if it looks different, he's going to be like mentally scarred? Or
is he really going to take
the argument?
Yeah.
It's a pretty weak argument at best.
Yeah. And they say that it's for hygienic reasons. Well, when you teach your kids to wash behind their ears.
Yeah. Proper washing resolves issues.
Yeah.
It's like you've got your mother's eyes and you.
I
didn't even have to finish that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Somebody says, "Oh, he's got his mother's eyes." Oh, Paul, get your trousers down. Show me, just like his dad.
Show your Jimmy.
There's no reason for any of that. No reason for any of that.
Yeah. Well, didn't someone just authorize looking or checking children's genitals before they
It's these
sports teams or something?
different states, different municipalities are doing these laws about checking to make sure that girls do girls, quote unquote, girl sports, and quote unquote boys do quote unquote boy sports. And with some of these bills, they could be a genital check.
Can I say, and this might be controversial, but though, as a parent and someone who's finally got a daughter, those states need to be fucking nuked. Just nuke the whole state. Be done with it.
I say we just mouse drop. We just put all the and just drop them.
Like I'm horrified. I'm shaking.
It's just another example of the Republican, just lack of ideas. Just a lack of ideas, and how they just want to go to these culture war topics to keep their base. You know, it's absurd, and that's all they have. That's all they have. Republicans, these social, culture war issues, not even issues. These topics.
And I mean, it's probably something that people don't really want to get into because you have to ask questions like, who's going to look at the genitals? What's the situation? Are the parents present? What about the trauma experienced by the child being asked to show their private parts to somebody?
Yeah. It's like, no, you're not taking a look at my kid's material. Yeah, that's not happening.
Like,
the same people who want to do those checks.
It feels like the Middle East. I'm just saying, it feels like the fucking Middle East.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. You're totally right. Yeah.
You could get any religious leader to do the examination.
You read about that?
They'd have no problem with it.
Oh yeah. Not creepy at all. Not creepy at all.
Yeah, not creepy. Fuck. God.
If we don't laugh, we'll cry.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is true.
Proof that evolution never happened.
Well, it's a bunch of bad brains. That's what it is. You know, we can't. Most of us can't drive through a cul-de-sac. I mean, through a roundabout that well, for at least from what I've seen, through a rotary, and our bad brains can't navigate changing concepts like gender identity, and what does it mean to be either of gender in today's world. It's just too much for a lot of people.
When they did the roundabouts in Utah, they spent millions of dollars doing these couple of roundabouts that was just up the road from me. And with the amount of wrecks, they ended up taking them out. And the traffic went back to being shittier, but people weren't dying. They just couldn't grasp the concept.
Well, people don't like to yield. So they go into these. This is from what I've seen and from my recent drive up and down the East Coast. People, and I'm a big yielder, to tell you the truth, because my manhood is not intimately related to whether or not I'm in front of the other dude driving. So I always keep a good distance between me and the next car. I don't mind people cutting in. I'm an exceptionally safe driver, and I don't mind yielding at the mouth of entering a cul-de-sac. I mean, entering a rotary. But a lot of people, I think they feel like they're being stepped to. I feel like their street cred is suddenly, going to go down. That's how they feel if they yield at a rotary.
I find myself, I'll let people in, trying to merge and such. Depending on the type of car they're driving. If it's a minivan, I'm not so likely to do it. If they have a Jesus fish on it, I'm running them right off the fucking road. I'm kind of a road Nazi that way,
I've been interested to take a course in your driving school, sir.
Well, I'm a bit like Andy. I just it doesn't make no difference to me if someone needs to pull out, I'll let them pull out. If someone wants to pull in front of me, then pull in front of me. To me, it makes no difference to my journey. I can get myself all let up and get angry about different drivers all the way. So, 20 or 30 minute drive that I'm having, I'm all raged up. Or I can just go, yeah, come in, mate. Keep calm, and I still get that same length of time. I don't get why there's so much road rage.
a lot of other things to get upset about.
Yeah, there's more important things to get upset about than somebody pulling in front of you.
Yeah, indeed.
Anyway, I'm going to jump out, Andy, because I'm going to make myself a cup of tea, and then I'm going to jump in bath because I'm on nights this week. So
all right, cool.
Yeah, Paul.
All right, well, good luck on nights. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll catch you all later, and I'll say goodbye to everybody in the chat, and I'll probably catch you tomorrow.
I'll be here.
Look forward to it.
All
Take
right,
care.
catch you all later. Bye.
Yeah. So I think I'll probably wrap up shop actually now that we're about 5 minutes before we usually wrap up. I think I'll wrap up. I'm going to get ready for work and pull myself together. Yeah. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, John, for popping in.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah. Thanks everyone in the chat for popping in. This has been fun. And yeah, good times, everyone. My heart goes out to you, and you're in the war against the mice there, Sam. I'll be those hordes of mice will be visiting me tonight. I'm sure in my sleep and my dreams. Yeah, I'll be praying for you.
I'll have wet dreams, but it'll be because of sweats after that mice thing.
The nut terrace.
Okay, everyone, take care.